Hey, I am with the esteemed Kyle Connor. And he's esteemed in my book.
Wow. Hey, this is Principal Bob, the electric principal, and today I am at Mini of Loveland. And I have got the pleasure of taking this little beauty out, a beautiful green and white Mini Cooper SE all electric. And my friends, I am so excited to drive this car today. I've been so looking forward to being able to drive a Mini Cooper, and I'll be doing a review of this car and letting you know what I think about it today. I have had a Mini Cooper in the past. I had a 2015 Mini Cooper S, so I drove it everywhere. 6-speed manual. Now this car has almost as much horsepower, but it has instant torque. It's going to be quiet, and you know what? This thing is one comfortable machine. I mean, it doesn't take a Phi Beta Kappa to look at those beautiful quilted leather seats inside and know that this is going to be a comfortable, cool little car with more panache than anything you can buy in its class. So stay tuned. I also have a special guest that's going to be taking part in my drive, and that is Mr. Kyle Connor of Out of Spec Reviews, who's a personal friend of mine and a great guy. And you know what, folks, he's as cool in person and as nice in person as he is on the air, and you're going to love to hear what Kyle has to say. So right now I'm driving along in Fort Collins, Colorado. I am driving along in the Mini Cooper SE 2023, and we are going to head up Horsetooth into the reservoir area, which is a beautiful area of Fort Collins. If you've never been to Fort Collins, it's worth coming to Fort Collins just for that. And we're just going to take the Mini and drive it like you drive a Mini, which is, you know, you experience the handling of the car. So what I'm going to do is I'll stick a camera on the front of the car, we'll sync it all up, and we'll see how that all goes. We're going to come up it a little quicker, just to feel a little turn. Now, I'm not a maniac. I do not drive super quick places. I mean, my goal is not to pull G's, but I love a good handling car. And all the weight in this car is low, because that's where the battery is. And you don't have an engine sticking up at the, you know, in the front of the car up high or higher that has a lot of weight. This thing has all the weight right at the bottom, and the electric motor is small. I mean, they don't take up much space, they don't have much weight. It just makes this car really nice because it's only 30 pounds heavier than the normal one. So that is a gorgeous idea. Now, like all Mini Coopers, it gives you hundreds of choices of how you want to set up your car. That's one of the things I love about Mini. They take nothing for granted, and they make the car so that it's highly adjustable to the way you like it. And I really enjoy that. I enjoy the fact that you know, this car, it literally becomes your bespoken car depending on how you set it up. And there's no way that other cars have that many options or allow you to make, you know, how the screens look, what instrumentation is functioning, how it functions. All of that is customizable, and you could spend a good deal of time going through this Mini and you still might not know every feature that it has or every option that it has, because it's just the nature of the car. And so it's a car I love because I love taking deep dives into cars, and this is one of those cars that you can take a deep dive into and truly enjoy it. So here we go, and I've got a little space here now, so I can hustle a little bit here in this car. I can, those people are going, that's great. So this is kind of nice because I haven't got anybody in front of me on this little strip here. And you know, it hustles right along. It's a very cool car. And I hope you're enjoying the scenery of Fort Collins, Colorado, because it is lovely. This is the kind of day and this is the kind of car that lets you enjoy the fundamentals of driving. And you know, you don't have to speed this car to enjoy it, although it is enjoyable. You know, all electrics are fast and responsive
And I always say to people, you can get as many tickets as you want in this car. It may not be a Model 3, or it might not be a Plaid, or it might not be the new Sapphire that is out there on the market right now. But you can go plenty quick in these cars when you take it, and you feel like you're in control of this car every second. That's what I like about it. It just is a wonderful little driving machine.
It was an ordered car that someone decided not to pick up, their mistake. It's a beautiful metallic green with white stripes on the hood, white roof, beautiful white caps on the mirrors. It's a really good looking car. The badging is moderate. You've got a little S here, so it's the symbol for their eco car, electric car. Same with the wheels, which I really like the wheels. Um, it's really a tastefully done car. So I love the rims. I love the embossed metal here. The door pops open. You've got two simple charging plugs that do the job. If you pull out the main plug, it pulls out both plugs at the same time for DC fast charging. They're nice and tight. They're going to keep that dry. You're never going to confuse this for a gas car at all with that E symbol. But I particularly like the Mini across the hubcap. I like the spoke design. And I really like the fact that this is some excellent tires. Pirelli P7s are on this. A lot of times when you see an electric car or cars in general, they put cheap tires on them. Not this car. This car has really high quality tires that come with it. They didn't scrimp on a lot of stuff on this car. One of the things I appreciate in a car is beautiful design, and this fabric is lovely, quilted pattern. You find this in top of the line Audis, and I love that the armrest is adjustable here. I mean, you can set this for whatever you want by simply moving this lever and it'll lock it in place. Nice little storage bin inside. You pull it up and you can get it out of the way. The Mini Cooper SE comes with a lot of nice features for the money. If I push this button right here, the mirrors will fold up, which is great. The other thing I wanted to point out was the main gauge shows how much power you're using on the left, speedometer dead center. The right shows you the percentage of battery that we've got left. It's a little over 50%. We also have a 25-mile-an-hour speed limit. Up here, it's telling the temperature. And most important of all, right there, it's going to give you all the information you need about how much energy your EV is using. You push it once, you're going to get average mile per hour, you're going to get how much distance you've traveled, you're going to get percentage of battery. Whatever you'd like is going to show up. More importantly, how many miles you're getting per kilowatt hour. And this car in cold weather is at 3.5, even though I have not been driving it very gingerly one bit. Down here we have the start-stop switch. We have the ability to turn off and on traction control, and boy, does that make a difference. But as a safety feature, leave it on most of the time. But no doubt, when you're in a little tight turns, this is fun to turn off. You've also got your different modes here. So as I adjust the switch through sport, it really changes the display nicely. Mid-balance setting, E drive. And then you get Green Plus with is maximum range without any comfort functions, and I mean not even heated seats. So that works nicely. It's very nice. I'm used to my old Mini where I didn't have a touch screen. I mean, this is all touch screen oriented. You can change everything that way. I'm so used to using the main dial control on a Mini, it's hard to even use that function. But it is a full touch screen. Up on the top here, if we push this, this is going to show you what we've got configured in terms of intelligent safety features, frontal crash warning, pedestrian warning, lane departure warning. All of that is at the touch of a button. All of these buttons, by the way, are, you can touch and change things simply by sliding or pushing on. They move just slightly, but you could change the mode of the radio, for example, by simply touching that. I love the combination of screen, but a lot of real buttons including your favorite stations, will be locked in there. I'm going to start the car up. You can hear that sound that it makes. It lets you know what's going on. It also wants me to fasten my safety belts right away. It does not wait to give you that annoying tone. It starts immediately nagging you to put your seatbelt on. I get that. But the other thing is that this little car has dual climate control, which is super nice, all digital. It's got heated seats that work in every single function except for the super energy saver. All right. So one of the other things I really like is the fabric that's used and the materials used to create this. This is a beautiful mesh aluminum. This is all soft touch material leatherette. It's gorgeous. So is the top of the dash. Everything is soft touch. There's no really hard surfaces. I like the fact you've got the classic kind of mini gauge here where you can adjust, for example, what's going on, and it tells you how much the adjustment is. Like if this was volume, it would simply light up the area of how much volume you've got running through the system. So that's super nice. I like the fact that when you grab onto the wheel, it has some give to it. It gives just the right amount of push to what you're doing. And I also love the fact this Mini, at $250 extra, comes with a heated steering wheel. And that's a beautiful thing, especially when the weather's cold like it is right now. I really, really enjoy how the phone charger works. I think it's a great design. They've got a little plastic bar here that squeezes the phone and holds it tight. A light goes on here. It's firmly secured. You know where it is. And then you can simply shut the hatch here over the top. And it's your phone's protected inside the armrest.
Hey, I am with the esteemed Kyle Connor. And he's esteemed in my book.
Wow. I'm glad I've
He's one of the best YouTube people around. So yeah, he's esteemed, especially by his fans, who I want to thank, who signed up for my channel because Kyle asked you to, and a lot of you did, and I'm overwhelmed.
I'm thrilled because I think the place you serve in the market's really needed. We need more basic level education of just normal people and how to use an electric car, because when they hear me talk, it's like, whoa, what'd you just say? Like, it's just not on the level of 99% of people out there.
Well,
so you have a broader audience base that you can capture, so we'll see this channel far surpassing the Out of Spec ones in just about a week or two.
Well, I tend to look at it the other way. People who really know all the technical stuff and love all of the kilowatt talk per hour, they're the ones who watch YouTube videos.
That's also true. That's also true, yes.
And people like Roberta, my girlfriend, who just wants to know the basics, and then I'll ask her, what was the last time you watched a YouTube channel on cars? And the answer will be, well, yours, only because you made me.
Sure.
And that's the truth of it, you know.
But I'm loving the Mini.
I love this Mini. You know, Kyle and I were just talking about, you know, the purpose of this car, and it's not a long range car. I mean, that's obvious. But if someone wants a second car, or somebody wants a car that's actually luxurious, I would use that word with this car. Beautifully built and super efficient. We're doing 3.6 miles per kilowatt right now.
And that's the amazing thing. This is a combustion chassis built on the F56 platform. I know you've had a Mini before. I've owned 6 of them. I love Minis. Love Minis. They're my favorite. And the fact that I haven't owned the electric one yet is a little bit of a shame, but I would love to own one. I just have no need for it.
Yeah.
And if it was like 25 grand, I'd go pick one up. This is almost $40,000.
Yes.
And it's exactly how I would spec it. I would do a black roof liner if they let me, but
yeah, would.
BRG2 with white roof rails, iconic trim, Mini Yours heated steering wheel. It's got all the good stuff in here. It's got the banging Harman Kardon sound system. It's a great sound system in this car.
It is.
And you know, they're just so high quality feeling. And the price is not bad if this is your third car, because you already have an e-tron GT or a Taycan.
Correct.
And this one here.
Yep.
Or a Mercedes GLS or something like that. And this is just to do around town stuff. Sure, for a lot of people that's not much, but as your only car, this doesn't make sense.
Right. But if you own a Tesla,
yeah,
and you've got the range of a Tesla, And whoever needs that day in the family to take the long range, they take a Tesla or they take an ID4. And then this is the backup car. This is, are you in town and you're driving around, or maybe you're driving 10 miles to work and back. If you want a high-end car for $38,000, which I still don't think is a bad price for this car. I mean, heads-up display, quilted leather seats like I'd buy in a high-end Q5. All those touches. I'd buy this car in a heartbeat because it's a Mini and it's fun.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, it handles really well. I've done a track review of one of these, actually, a performance driving review on a racetrack. And you know what? It's a really good car overall. But I think you're right. Most, especially two-car families, if it's a husband and wife, you typically go on road trips together, not to generalize. Right. But you really only need one long-range car. And then the rest of the time you can just have a commuter. And there's honestly almost no better commuter than this. There is one that I would actually have over the Mini. It's not sold in America, but it's the Honda E. And the Honda E is so cool. It's more expensive than this and smaller, but it's a really neat car. So yeah. It fills a gap that's needed in the market. And it's been so well received that used ones are the same price as new ones still.
They are. I mean, I looked online and I'm seeing prices of $32,000.
Yes, with miles too. It's just crazy how well they're doing.
Yeah.
So what's your impression so far? You've been driving it all day. I know you still have it for some time to come. What videos are you gonna make with it?
Well, what I did was I took this up to Horsetooth and just put it through its paces. Not like a Kyle Connor pace, though. I'm just telling you.
Want to do that?
Yeah, Kyle took me in his Plaid on Sunday, and I found out Kyle Connor pace is a little quicker than mine.
Sure. Than most people, but it's also my job to.
Oh well, you know what? No, I mean, but that's because he's got all those skills, including how to drive a car fast and safely.
It's an important one to have.
Oh, it is, and that. My thing with this car is I'm about, does it handle well? And this certainly handles well. And I think just going up on the curves through Horsetooth shows what this car can do. And the other thing I wanted to do was, just really talk about where this would fit in, why this makes sense. And Kyle and I have talked about big EVs and from, the Hummer to the Rivian, all fantastic cars, wonderful cars. But, when you're getting 1 mile per kilowatt or you're getting 2 miles per kilowatt at best, that's kind of where I'm beginning to find my niche that I want to move to as an owner, as well as a person who sells cars currently and a person who's reviewing cars, is that let's get really efficient electrics that are fun to drive, that are phenomenally well finished, because the older I get, the more comfort I like. I really do. I'm spoiled. My Audi GT is a beautiful thing, but this has become a very interesting kind of car for me to own, and I'm seriously will probably think about buying one.
Yeah, I think efficiency is a big topic. I mean, we're looking at XC40 Recharge, F-150 Lightning that can't even park itself. We have a Bolt over here. And it's just, the Bolt is so much more efficient than the Lightning in many ways.
Yeah.
And, they're at 84% just sitting in the truck.
Where do we want to go here, Kyle? Should we just get out of the way? No, we don't need to plug in. We don't. Let's just go over here.
Yeah.
But you know what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn the car around so it's facing the plug-in here a little bit. And that way I can...
Yeah, the topic of efficiency goes a long way, especially when you're looking at the costs of charging these things.
Yeah.
But also just the ability to plug it into a level 2 charger and get meaningful range out of it.
Well, and this thing has a 110-mile range, but as Kyle pointed out, when you plug this into a charger, it's going to charge at almost its top speed until 90%.
Right, but what's more important than range to me is the charging curve of the car when you're on a trip.
Right.
And so this, I haven't tested the newest one yet. Maybe the battery's probably too cold to do a test on it right now, but
yeah,
I'd like to at some point grab a Mini SE. But when I originally tested it just held 50 kilowatts to like 90%.
And that's amazing.
That's the benefit of this car. I took it on a big road trip with my friend Tom Malogny, and we had no problems going down the road with it.
And with a 32 kilowatt battery, you plug this in at home, I think the charger's like an 8 kilowatt charger that comes with it. By the way, most cars in this price range do not include a charger right now. They're all taking them out. Mini still includes it.
Oh,
But
the
it doesn't
cable
take
unit? Yeah.
long to charge this car, even at home, because it's a 32 kilowatt battery. And so it becomes a very reusable car because it charges quickly. It doesn't have a whole lot to go because it's a small battery, and off you go.
Yeah, yeah, it's really a wonderful thing to drive around. Plus, just to mention, I love how you can customize the colors, the things. I like the UI on the car. I love all the toggles. To me, this is the F56 generation has been around for a long time, and I see no reason for them to update it. It's still relevant.
No.
It's still modern. It's still a great built product.
You know, think about it. It's a modern car that is a classic at the same time because I feel like I'm back in the 1960s when I use these toggle switches. They are impressive. They just feel good in your hand when you use them.
Yep.
And that's a weird thing, I know.
No, but it's true. It's kind of, having a tactical points is really nice to have in a car.
And this car has character.
Yeah.
That's what it has. A lot of cars are boxes that come out and they drive around. But this car is so unique. And actually, I played a lot with the electronics of this car today. I'm fairly impressed. Now, I kept using the switch down here because that's how the old Minis work. But I mean, it's all touchscreen. It's been nicely updated, and I'm a fan of this car. I think it's worth people considering for your second or third car. And, if you own a Taycan, this should be your second car.
Totally agree. It's hard to swallow without the tax credit, though.
I know.
But
I know.
If this was 6 months ago, I'd say we should all be getting these. But unfortunately, it doesn't qualify.
Well, and even without the tax credit, I'm trying to move into this world without tax credits because, right now a lot of really good cars don't have them.
Well, and to me, it does a disservice a little bit to the industry. I don't know how you feel. Should we even have tax credits for any car?
Yeah.
In my opinion, I don't know why I, as a taxpayer, would want to subsidize someone else driving an electric car. If it's truly better, they can just go and buy it if it's better.
Yeah, and you and I have had the discussion about, and I know that the new, the latest tax bill includes a ton of money for infrastructure, but you were in Europe and you were driving around Norway, and it's just like night and day. If you want EVs to be everywhere, put chargers everywhere. If you build them, they will come.
100%. More infrastructure equals more cars. Don't subsidize the cars, subsidize the infrastructure, in my opinion.
Absolutely. And I think the cars will sell themselves because and I make a good living. I mean, I don't want to underestimate the problems that people have with earning money and buying electric cars, and they are expensive.
Right.
But when you're talking about subsidies for cars, a lot of those subsidies are going to people who could afford 2 or 3 EVs without them.
Absolutely.
Even we're getting into the tax law a little bit, but even to buy a used car, the car has to cost under $25,000. Well, what kind of used EV am I going to get for that?
Well,
Not
we'll
a
have
lot.
a whole series on Out of Spec.
I know.
We're doing
Watch Out of Spec used cars. It's a great series, and because I really think people should consider them. I don't know why more people don't consider used EVs because the prices are dropping. They're becoming more affordable. But if a choice is between buying a used Mini and a new Mini, go out and get the new Mini because, God, there's not much price difference.
Right, at least now, until they dip at $24,999, you can take that tax credit and then go for that one. But,
and then go do it.
Yeah,
so,
cool. Well, thanks for having me on your
hey,
YouTube.
Kyle, I appreciate you so much. I learned so much from your channel.
Thanks for watching.
You are one of the originals and on the ground floor of this whole thing. And I'm always impressed that Kyle does his homework. When he does a video, he just doesn't get up there and talk. He has done his homework to the nth degree, and it shows. Now, as an ex-teacher,
depends on the video.
As an ex-teacher, I can tell you, well, and if he doesn't know it, he can make it up better than anybody.
That's right. There we go. Yes, I'm a good BSer.
Once again, thank you guys for watching The Electric Principle. I know you're probably already part of Out of Spec because you're crazy if you're not. And we'll talk to you soon.
Great video.
So this is Bob Flaherty, the Electric Principal, and we have our Mini SE 2023 charging here at Electrify America. I am here today with Kyle Connor. He's busy charging a Nissan Leaf that still has a CHAdeMO system on it. So we are right now charging away. We are up to 40 kilowatts, and the state of charge is 40%. This is a 50 kilowatt charger in it. But the point is, when you only have a 32 kilowatt battery, it doesn't matter because it takes so little time to charge it. And this thing will charge full capacity up to almost 90%. So Kyle Connor and I are busy charging this beautiful green S model, Cooper SE actually. And right now it's just chugging along charging. And what are your thoughts about it? Because right now this thing is almost at 50 kilowatts.
Well,
charging at 74%.
that's the beauty of the Mini. This thing, and when we plugged it in, we had a little cold gating. We were getting about 36 kilowatts. The active charging, of course, heated up the car. It also probably ran its battery heater at the same time. It's getting cold. Winter chargings, every car suffers from winter differently and has a different heating strategy. The Mini seems to be pretty good, but you have been driving it most of the day, so we need to do more testing. Here's the thing about the Mini, not much range. In fact, this is the least amount of range in any mass production EV on the market in the US at all. So it is the lowest range car you can buy. However, compared to a Chevy Bolt that was just here charging, getting 20 kilowatts, we're getting still 50 kilowatts deep in the pack. So on a road trip, actually charging this to about 90-95% is no hardship at all. It only takes about 40-45 minutes to get up there, which is really good for the size of the pack. So I'm actually a fan of lower range cars because you're hauling around less batteries. In theory, they should cost less. This one doesn't, but you know,
yeah, because you got leather.
Because you got all the nice stuff.
And you got a heads-up display.
But you have less.
Give Mini a break.
Yeah, you have less raw material in the car, so it's more sustainable, if you will. And yeah, I mean, we're just pegged at 49 kilowatts and deep into the pack. So I'll give up capacity for charging speeds. And I would like to see a road trip race between this and a Bolt. I bet it would be closer than you think. I bet it would be closer than you think.
I see another video.
Yes, I think we need to do like a I don't know, $40,000 EV cap cross country race. That would be a blast. We do the Leaf that we have over here. By the way, the Leaf's got a light up badge on it. I didn't notice that. So like that. And just for a point of comparison, the Leaf has a huge battery pack in comparison to this Mini, twice as much in the Leaf. And the Mini is charging faster at the same state of charge than the Leaf would. So they're really pushing this battery pack to the limit with charging.
And it's a 23 Leaf, right?
Yeah, that's a brand
spanking new.
Yeah, it has like 10 miles on it.
So I would like once again to thank Kyle Connor from Out of Spec Motoring for joining me on the channel today. He may put it on his channel too. Sure. I have no idea. And but it's always a lot of fun being with Kyle. So thanks again, Kyle. This is Bob Flaherty, the electric principal, saying goodbye and good night. And we're at 80%. And we are just floating in here right now. It's 16 minutes. We did pretty well. We got 11.84 kilowatts. So thanks again, Kyle.
Thank you.
Thank you. And off into the sunset. He climbs into his, you know, he's usually driving a Plaid, but today it's the Nissan Leaf 23.
Hey, I'm not ashamed to admit I kind of like the Leaf.